Okay, hi. I'm going to show you my node network I created for cell shading. Don't mind the model here. This shirt, actually the shirt and the hair is not really designed for this model. I just threw something on her to keep her from being, well, naked. First thing I want to show you though is a super cell shade that comes with Lightwave. For the longest time this has really been my preferred cell shader. You do have BESM, big eye, small mouth, which works okay. I like super cell shade better, and there's also Unreal, which I find a little bit buggy. It crashes a lot on me, even though it offers more. Well, I like it a lot better. But anyway, don't care for the crashes. And well, here you go. This is my preferred setup. 2 zones. Shadow is just a little bit darker than the primary color, and there's not a lot of shadow to it. And this is the one problem. This is the primary problem I run into with almost any of the cell shaders. Let's reduce the light down to 50%. By the way, we are running just with one light in this scene, but it wouldn't matter if we had multiple lights. If running a low light, well, you know, she gets more shadow on her body. The arms got more shadow to it. There's a little bit more shadow on the face and around the neck, but everything's still the same color. The shadow color is the same. The skin color is the same. It hasn't gotten any darker. Also, another problem I run into is let's add some color. Nice little light blue, and we got use lights color or light colors on here. This, I don't know if this is a bug with 9.6. Well, actually you can see it up here. I'm not getting all my shadows. I'm not getting the blue. It's not affecting all the shadow. It's not affecting the darkest part of the shadow, which, well, there's only one shadow, but still you can see here I'm getting the regular color without being affected by the blue light. I don't know exactly what that problem is. It might have something to do with this in here. It's difficult to say since I'm only using 2 of the 3 zones. Either way, it's annoying. So anyway, I also want, I think it's kind of cool to be able to create your own node network to have a little bit more control. And that's what I did. Now let me go ahead and turn off all these super cell shaders, which I've got everywhere. The good idea is to have a little bit of a simple object when you are doing a tutorial and trying to keep it under 10 minutes. Let's turn my nodes on. Okay, back up to 100% on light, and we're running with a white light again. This will be a little bit slower. My node network does slow it down just a bit compared to using the supercell shader or any basic shade. I think about 20% slower, and the colors do change a bit from the original. If we go back to the first, you know, it's just nice, and the skin tone's a little bit darker. Skin tone's got a little bit more color to it. Currently, while I have this run, no matter how I do this, you're going to lose a little bit of color. If we work with if we have this little feature. Let's add the color here. Now, if you disable this bit, and I'll show you in the node system in a minute, the color catcher, whatever you want to call this, when you're running with white light, it's adding white to the colors of the character. Here we're adding blue light, and there we go. It's nice. You know, we got a bit of blue here. Scene's a little bit darker too. You know, we're not running at full color here, but the character, you know, this works a little bit closer to reality, I think. My main goal with this was setting up light intensity. In fact, the color catching, I can take that or leave it. It's not that big a deal, but this is what I was really aiming for. You'll notice that everything gets darker. The shadows are darker now, the skin is darker, and there's more shadow to it, but it all darkens. And that's the whole thing I've been looking for. None of the cell shaders do this. There might be a reason they don't do this. No one might consider this to be a good way of doing it, but this is what I want. And let me show you why or how this works. Okay, here's my node network. We're going to start with a Lambert. I'm going to use the color of that to drive a gradient. This is a 2-key gradient. I'm running. This is basically your zones for cells. You could add, add your 4 zones if you want, 3 zones if you want. Add the darker your color is, the darker the shadow is going to be. This is my preferred setup. 15% shadow, and the shadow is just a little bit darker than the actual. It's a little bit darker than the white light, or the white. Let me do one thing here. Let's turn that intensity back up to 100% so we can see how this is supposed to look. Update it. Okay, so we got the Lambert running a gradient. The gradient is actually driving another node, shadows node from the DP kit. Dennis's awesome nodes, shaders, and I'm in tools again. Here we go, shadows. Now, what this does, and the only thing I'm using it for, is to remove Lightwave's regular shadows. Those were causing me a lot of issues, but this allows you to remove them. And I'm going to run another gradient, or drive another gradient with this shader. This is a duplicate of the first one. You're going to run the color, run your input. Your first key, this one here, is also running straight from the color. Your second key is your white area. If you ran it straight, you'd get this kind of grayish light. So we multiply it by 1.25. At least that's the number that came out for me. That works pretty good. It might be a little bright. Anyway, run this. This is gradient's going to drive our color. This is for the skin, or this is your basic color of your shader. You're going to run this down to a mixer. Now mixing your shadow and your skin, and you can see it's a little bit pale. You've lost a little bit of color because you're mixing a gray with it. You could bypass this if you don't want to bring in the colors from outside light sources, or just run it through here. I mean, you can actually just run straight over, connect directly into your diffuse shadow shading. But that's what the mixer is running into. I also have over here, you can add another. This is another gradient. This is a stroke, and it's a more of a pen-looking stroke than the say the outlines that Lightwave does. It's running off incidence angle, so when you have an odd shape that's not perfectly spherical like the sample here, areas that have well, basically you'll get thin and thick lines. I'm not using that right now, but it is a little option that is there. And that's pretty much it. I give you some links to Dennis's website. Also give you well, I really can't post this up here, but whatever. I'm rambling. Never mind. Here you go. Hope you like it. Hope you find some use of it.